So here we are in the briefing room again.
Members of Star Fox, a grave danger looms. The Lilat system is in peril.
What? How do you know?
We know. The research director will brief you on all the details.
Oh my god.
Hello again, everybody.
Dad, you're the research director? You never told me that.
So, this guy is Slippy's
Gee,
dad,
now,
apparently.
Yes. In any case, if I may continue, these
Why do we have Slippy again?
Aperoids?
Slippy is the team's mechanic.
Indeed, they are the
Why is
enemies
Slippy
you
in the
faced
field?
earlier. I believe it was about 17 years ago.
Well,
A whole fleet
that's
was destroyed by
kind
assault
of, it's kind of a question everyone asks.
We were somehow able to survive
Because
that trial, but
when,
that was
during Star
just a
Fox
taste
64,
of what's coming.
Andrew is the guy that chases Slippy because the two of them are an equal pilot level, and Andrew sucks. The only reason he's on the Star Wolf team is because Andros says so, basically.
So nepotism.
We're unable to
Yeah.
contact anyone there.
But my theory about it is that Slippy knows how to push the R-Wing to its limits more,
I'll head to the surface immediately.
so he can still kind of keep up with the other guys.
It's too dangerous. I'm going too.
No, I want you guys in our wings covering.
So
the
right
above.
here, we start a trend in this game for the ground
I'm counting
missions,
on you.
where Fox
Let's do
tells
this.
everyone else to stay in the air for no reason at all.
I don't know, from a standpoint that makes some sense.
Except Crystal is much better on the ground than in an R-Wing.
Oh. Does telepathy work better when you're touching Earth or something?
No, it's just that her experience has mainly been on the ground, and she's only been piloting an R-Wing for like a year or so.
Huh.
So it's really weird that Fox would tell her to stay in an R-Wing when she would be a much better teammate on the ground.
So I'm just trying to figure this out. There were 4 people in
too
Star
quiet.
Fox 64, right?
Yes.
And one of them wasn't Crystal?
She was not.
Something's
The fourth
wrong
one was
here.
Peppy.
The Walrus Rabbit?
Yes.
Okay.
Crystal got introduced in Star Fox Adventures.
Okay.
It's the aperoids after all.
That was a sound effect.
Yeah. And of course the game does the thing where the enemy placement in cutscenes is nowhere near where they are at the start of the actual gameplay.
Yeah, well.
You gotta
Does
change
it
weapons
match
to
up
fit
on
the
hard?
situation.
No.
Oh, that's weird.
There's just more of them on hard. So a few seconds ago I picked up a machine gun. This is one of the failings of the ground mission, because you have to switch between weapons a whole lot. But it turns out you never need to do anything but use the blaster because it has this charge shot. And as Peppy just said, the charge gets stronger the longer you charge it. At the 3rd level charge, it becomes as strong as the rocket launcher, but you don't have ammo for the blaster, so it's almost never preferable to use any
Well, I got
weapon
my
other
hands
than
full.
the blaster.
But what else is new?
Done. Here's your landmark.
And you might notice things popping in and out at the sides of the screen. That's an unfortunate side effect of how the widescreen hack works.
I was going to double check if that was that or just my encode again. It didn't make sense as the encode.
Nah, it's just one of the ways... Because this game looks really good for a GameCube game. But one of the ways it does that is by unloading things that are actually off camera, but the widescreen hack doesn't include the camera POV.
Well. So
But-
wait, you have a tank that can barrel roll?
Yes, the tank barrel rolls.
Smash anyone and anything that gets in your way.
What the hell does technology development look like on this world?
Okay, I want you to remember that the mechanic for this team is an anthropomorphic frog.
Enemies on my tail.
Yeah, I know, I'm really trying not to think of how the hell some of these things would pilot. Like, this is a system that works between a fox... is Crystal a fox too?
I think?
She's either a fox or a cat, it's hard to tell.
She's not a cat.
Okay. We've got something that works between foxes, a rabbit, a bird, and a frog.
And I would like to point out that immediately after we get in the tank, Crystal gets enemies on her tail. Because, you know, she's in an R-wing instead of on the ground.
Would she be more effective if she were in a tank?
Well, there's a mission later on where you do fight on the ground with Crystal, and she is much more effective on the ground than in the air.
Maybe she's just getting better combat experience. By that point, she's fought in wars. I don't know. I don't know enough. I thought they were all part of a military organization, not a Mersk squad. So are things just teleporting in front of you?
Literally, yes.
Okay, just checking.
This is a weird point that the game fails to make, because right now we're seeing the introduction of the Hatchers.
Whoa, what are these things?
And the Aperoids supposedly come out of the Hatchers, but there were no Hatchers before, so that doesn't explain how the enemies were popping in.
This looks bad.
Because the gameplay explanation is that they were conserving detail by not having them spawn in bullets before a certain distance, but they specifically teleport in with a special effect that they had to make.
That's why I was curious, yeah. Oh hey, it's that boss from Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, these guys are assholes. You have to hit them several times in the face before they'll explode, and it has to be dead on in the face. It can't be slightly to the left or right.
So it says those things spawn more Aperoids. How do Aperoids get spawned?
We don't know. The game doesn't go into a lot of detail about anything.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure I'm overthinking this by going, what's the reproductive cycle of these strange mechanical insects? But
Also, you might have missed it, but the tank also flies.
I have seen you hovering, yeah.
I'm being chased.
So
Did you save Slippy before the cutscene even played?
yes. Well, kind of. I saved Slippy before the radio chatter telling me he was in trouble finished playing. So this is one of the things that I really don't like about ground missions, is that you have to constantly save your friends.
Yeah, you'd think they could cover each other's backs.
Yeah, you'd think. I mean, it only happens twice in this first mission, but it gets a little obnoxious later on. And you notice that's what just happened there is another problem with the ground missions, where there's no way to turn the camera around quickly. So, yeah?
Is there fall damage in this game?
No.
Why didn't
Thankfully.
you just leap down?
Because I had to go through the elevator.
Oh, okay.
I also had to shoot some of the dudes to make room for myself.
Oh.
But there's just so many things that they put in these ground missions to stretch them out, because you could defeat these things in a couple of minutes if they didn't pad them
So
out.
6 cents doesn't lie.
And there's really way too many ground missions.
Like, give me a rough, like 50-50, what?
It's pretty much exactly 50.
Okay.
But the problem is the ground missions are too boring, so it feels like it's a majority of ground missions.
I mean, this doesn't seem so bad so far. It's at least moving along.
This doesn't, because you immediately get in the tank.
There are going to be levels without the tank, aren't there?
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, arenas of this size sans tank would suck.
Yeah, after we clear out all the original targets, a new one spawns for some reason.
I
Well,
get a
'cause
bad
you didn't have a
feeling
boss.
about this.
No, I mean a new hatcher spawns that
Oh,
you have
okay.
to go destroy. I can only assume that was to pad out runtime by a few more seconds.
So, the leader, huh?
That thing is
I fought this in Sonic 06.
Yeah,
Wait,
a lot of the bosses in this game feel familiar.
You heard the lady, Fox. We gotta get that
Why
core
not?
memory.
Did this come out after that? I don't think that would have worked time.
This was 2005, I believe.
Okay. So, what is a core memory?
We don't know. They're just
Okay.
that's the first
Everyone's
time they've
throwing
mentioned
that
it.
around. I didn't know if it was something that I was supposed to know about.
No, it's not the first time they mention it. But the game kind of implies that it's memory banks, but
So these are robots?
eh, they never explain what the Aporoids are, but it does come up later on that they can take over robots.
So I'm just going to go with the Phalanx.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's getting weaker, Fox. Keep at it.
Well, at least this boss could be much worse. That was pretty quick.
Yeah, this boss is really easy once you figure out the trick of getting on top of it. I mean, it takes a little skill for you to be able to barrel roll out of the missile banks before they hit you, but that's all the challenge this boss is.
Okay.
I'll also point out that they said the core memory we got first was an incomplete specimen, but this one literally uses the exact same model and was subjected to probably more stress than the one previously, and it's somehow more complete.
That's a pigman.
Yeah, so here's Pigma, who the design of his ship is interesting because notice he has to turn his engines down in order to hover. Literally no other ship in the game works like that.
He's got a cheesecake pig on the side of his ship.
Yes.
I kinda love this dude's style.
That's the last time we will see Pigma for our 4 missions.
Is he still gonna be in that ship?
Yes.
I'm down.
We will see him in that ship for a total of 12 seconds
Not a bad day's work. These Aporoids,
before he changes out of it.
they're a handful.
If he still puts on weird fighter art, I'm down.